Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating young woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patience Rabai. I am originally from Botswana, based here in Melbourne, Australia. I've been in business for quite some time. I actually started my entrepreneurial journey from a tender age of around 9 years or 10 years old. So this is my story. I started off looking up to my mother, who was working as a banking secretary, but thought, you know what, this is not fulfilling enough. She had that basic skill of sewing, and she was quite the dressmaker. She was really good with her hands. She made a lot of wedding gowns. She made a lot of flower arrangements, and she was the go-to person for weddings back in the 90s. As a young girl, I would look at my mom selling all these beautiful dreams to brides and grooms as they came in, completing their story for their weddings, for their marriages, looking forward to seeing them, beautifully dressed for that day. And I would see just how excited each customer would be. Now, part of this was also just looking at this woman who has all the skills, who has now developed herself to a point where she decided to go and enrich herself and equip herself with more knowledge of going out there to South Africa from Botswana to educate herself a bit more better, so that that basic skill that she has becomes a work of art. From just doing a business with those wedding gowns, she eventually did wedding decorations. She was a one-stop shop for all things weddings, bridesmaids, groomsmen, you name it, deco, marquees, everything, cakes as well. Now, from an entrepreneurial background, I thought, wow, this is somebody who's doing so much. She was able to provide for her family as well as a single mother. That showed me that as a woman, you are able to do quite a lot. Hence, a word I'd like to introduce all of you to, which is ipelering. Ipelering is a Setswana word which means being able to carry yourself, or sustenance, to be able to sustain yourself as a woman, as a man, and be able to provide for your family, to provide for the needs of your family through the working of your hands. Now, my journey comes into play when I would see this woman who's making money from absolutely anything and everything. And while I was in school, I had the brilliant idea of selling sweets in class. Yes, just a small thing like selling candy, lollies. But with this, I realized that one packet of candy would actually bring me 30% profit. Now, that's where the accounting acumen came in at around the age of 9 and 10. I was able to realize that, oh, I'm actually making a profit from this type of candy, and I'm running at a loss from this certain type of candy. I eventually evolved into other things as I grew up. I realized that it is just easy for me to sell absolutely anything and everything. By the time I went to secondary school, when we were selecting different types of subjects, I decided to go for business studies. Now, that was the beginning of my professional era. That's when I was able to see that there's something called marketing. There's something called writing up a contract as well for those people that I'm selling to, or those people who are buying from me. I should be able to have a contract between myself and my siblings, who would be the people that I employed within the same household. Now, what I want to say to someone is, and nurture other people, seeing people evolving and seeing people, my family, doing so well when it comes to doing business, it became natural to me as well. At this point, fast forward, I started getting into business. By the time I finished my university degree, which is in entrepreneurship, I thought, well, let me go work in a bank. But while I was working in the bank, I thought, who works in a bank with an entrepreneurship degree? It does say entrepreneurship. So I need to go and do something out there. Let me go and find a business that I can run. I was married young at that time when I finished university, got married at the age of 22 years old. And my husband believed in anything and everything that I could say, because he could see that I would sell absolutely anything and everything to everyone. We got into the cab business. It was thriving. After the cab business, we got into the events management. I took over from what my mom was doing. Fast forward, we decided to move to Australia. Yes, the Australian dream that everybody has, where we assumed that once we step into Australia, money will be growing onto the trees, and we'll just, go plug $10 and send it home. I remember when we left Botswana for Australia, we told everybody that, don't worry, guys, we've got you sorted. Once we get there, everything that you need will be on us. We arrived here to Australia, and guess what? The Australian dream was never existent. We had to start all the way from the bottom. The very first day we landed, my husband was already out there digging trenches. I was out there studying for my master's in finance with a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Life got difficult. We had to find a way. We had to sort out school fees. We had to sort out life as well for us as a family and our children. That meant that we did not have any time to be comfortable. We had to go into business. Business was the escape that we actually had. I had the corporate dream of saying, I want to see myself working in the city, wearing a pencil sketch, with my small briefcase, but it wasn't possible. It wasn't possible because once you get to Australia, they want that Australian experience. They want that Australian qualification, which I did not have, which my husband and I did not have. Yes, my husband was already qualified in IT, but it wasn't a space that was going to allow him to get into that easily. So we had to do what? Cleaning houses. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it for the fact that anything and everything that you can do here in Australia will help you make you money. We got into cleaning. We developed different ways of cleaning houses. We started doing some networking with other providers out there. We started seeing the business growing. We started seeing the business scaling up through the support of other people in the community, through the support of the business networks that we are a part of as well. We saw our business growing. We then ventured into another business, which is the disabilities accommodation and supports that we are currently doing right now. And right now we have houses. We are able to provide accommodation for people living with a disability. We are able to take care of them. We are able to do all sorts of things for them while we are also making money. besides just making money, it was all about being independent, being able to know that we still can be able to provide for our families who are back there in Botswana. Ipelering, yes, self-sustenance. There was no one we could call back home to say this is the situation. Because remember, when we left home, we told we will be taking care of you. But then in this situation, there was no way we could call any of my brothers or my parents or his family to say, please rescue us, please help us with diapers or whatsoever. A plan had to be made. What I want to tell you and share with you today is there's a plan for anybody and everybody, for as long as you are able to have the right mindset to start. Recently, I have founded a not-for-profit, which is Afro Aussie Women in Business. So Afro Aussie Women in Business is about those women who have that relevant skill, who know how to do nails, who know how to do hair, who have those dressmaking skills, but they don't know how to be able to scale up in order for them to make business, to do it right, to do it well, to become profitable. We have those African women out there, like my mother at one point in time, once upon a time, when she thought, okay, just the ability for me to pay for my children's school fees is enough. Just the fact that I have groceries on the table is enough. I want to now, with Afro Aussie Women in Business, say we want to change the narrative. We want to go big. We want to scale up those businesses. We want to see people, African women, in those big roles out there and for them to say, yes, I bought this car cash out of my hair making business. I bought this car cash because I was able to braid hair. And after that, I was able to know who to market to, how to market, how to sell. I was able to, move my baking business from my own ordinary kitchen to a warehouse. We want those people who have those small stories to tell, to say, this is what I'm doing with my business, but I don't have the relevant qualification to take me to the next step. Afro Aussie Women in Business is all about selling ipelegeng to people, selling that motive of cultivating self-sustenance so that we nourish and see other people flourishing within their businesses. We want people who are able to understand what is a profit, what is a liability, what is equity. There's so many words out there that are just too big for us. But we want to say through Afro Aussie Women in Business, those words can be simplified for you by coming to our different master classes that we run, the different programs that we run. We have partnered with so many organizations out there who are willing to share their wealth of knowledge with the right women who are ready to say, I am, because we are. I want to be able to collaborate with the right people. I want to be able to partner right with people. Another thing about African businesses is we want to get into partnerships, but we don't understand how to go about it. We don't understand how to do it well. So when it comes to partnerships, we don't want a scenario where somebody else will be crying 10 minutes down the line and saying, oh, this person actually stole my idea. This person actually did this. So with Afro Aussie Women in Business, we take like-minded individuals, put them in one room and help them develop something that is good. We want to take 5 hairdressers, for example, put them under one salon and say, hey, collaborate, do hair together, do this together, get into business together, grow in a right way, learn how to share customers, learn how to be able to, pass on business to each other so the money stays within and so that the money can be able to assist us all as we continue to flourish. Ipelegeng is a concept that says we want to be able to carry ourselves to the next chapter together. Ipelegeng is saying we want to be able to go through whatever it is together as women, empowering each other, nurturing each other in order for us to grow wealth together. We also have a program called Accelerate Your Net Worth. Yes, accelerate your net worth. This is all about knowing the right people to network with so that you are able to increase your worth, your value, knowing exactly how much you are worth in the society, knowing how much you are worth, in the community that is around you. We tend to just, think that we've got it all under certain circumstances. But with Afro Aussie Women in Business, we are saying we want you to be able to speak to the right people, move in the right rooms, go straight to a certain door that will direct you to take your passion to the next level. So, yes, that is who Patience Rabai is all about.
Patience, listening to you speak is like music to my ears. You have no idea how excited I am to have found you and to be working with you and collaborating with you on all of these amazing things we'll be doing in the future.
Yes.
So, as you know, I'm fairly new to Melbourne, Australia. It's been a real struggle to break into the different circles, to find women like you who are like-minded, who realize that there is no competition. Our strength actually lies in the collaboration and partnerships, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
So very, very, very excited to hear all about this. So let's start with this question. As someone with extensive experience in startup leadership, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to launch their own businesses, especially those from underrepresented backgrounds?
To be quite honest, there's this thing called confidence that makes it so difficult for people to start. You have a brilliant idea, but you lack the confidence to start. So from time to time, when people ask me to say, Patience, I have this idea that I want to do, but I'm thinking of doing it this way or that way. While you are trying to figure things out, why don't you just start so that you are able to figure it out while you are on the go? There's nothing wrong with taking away and learning while you are in there. You don't have to be perfect from the beginning because you will never be perfect. The product that you start with will always be your worst product, but you will continue to improve on it. You will continue to work on it. You will continue to think, wow, this is what I can actually do about this thing. And, change things around, add some spice there, reduce some salt there. And eventually, before you know it, you've got the masterpiece. But still, with that masterpiece, it still needs a bit of innovation after some time. So, the only advice I can ever tell anybody is just do it. Start now. Do it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't go, thinking that you'll get all sorts of advice, because the advice you'll get is from what we have all gone through, is from what we have experienced. I'm going to advise somebody based on how I've seen things through. But if you're just going to wait to see how someone from Botswana has navigated things, and yet you don't even know what Botswana is all about, then you're lost. So just do it. Start. Just start.
I love the just do it philosophy, because there's never a right time, right?
Yeah.
The starting is the hard part. And once you get started, things kind of fall into place. You meet the right people, the right opportunities, etc. So your role as a business services manager at POWA Care Connections involves overseeing various critical functions such as office administration, accounting, human resources. How do you ensure smooth operation and compliance of such a multifaceted organization?
It's all about ensuring that you don't do everything yourself. Delegation is always an important thing. as a woman, we want to do everything because we want to prove ourselves right. We want to prove to everybody that I can do it and I can do it better.
Yeah.
But be open to the idea that there might be someone either younger than you or even older than you, from a different gender or whatever space, that can actually do it better than you. So for me, what I've learned to do is ensure that I have the right systems in place. That way I work smart, but I don't work hard. With the right system, if I know, like for instance, I know that on Mondays I focus on dealing with anything to do with admin. On Tuesday, I deal with anything to do with marketing. That way, there's a smooth flow.
Yeah.
If I want to do absolutely anything and everything at the same time, I'll find myself now even calling my husband to say, do you know where we put the pen? But he doesn't know, he's not even part of the office, he's not even part of the team, because I'm now overwhelmed. So having a system, a personal system for you that is right for you, is always the best start to anything.
I love that. So, in your capacity as the business management consultant at First Class Financials Consultants, you've helped numerous clients improve their financial performance and manage their risks effectively.
Mhm.
Can you share a specific success story or project that highlights the impact of your expertise?
So we do have someone who came in who's doing the exact same business as us, which is disability support. And for them, they came in with that thing that, oh my goodness, the client was not talking to me, in this way. They were just so rude and they were always emotional. And I said to them, look, before we start feeding you that same medication that everybody else is taking, you need to slow down and learn that your emotions should be placed for your family and your loved ones. Everything else, when it comes to work, go in there, yell if you need to yell, shout if you need to shout. But after that, do not attach your emotions to it. That way, you are able to, minimize the risk of you failing. The biggest mistake is, coming in as patience, the wife, to work, and
Mm,
then once a client comes and yells at me, I'm already seeing my husband and I'm thinking, why could he shout at me? Why would he say such a thing to me, But
yeah,
if I have placed my emotions right, if I've been able to know exactly my role at that point in time, that means I'm not attaching feelings that shouldn't be there. I am able to be empathetic with my clients. Yes. I'm not saying I'm not a human being, but then again, that those instances where you need to realize that the person that you are dealing with might feel entitled. You know how they say customers are always right, even
yeah,
if they are always wrong, but they also have that thing that I'm right and I want to show you that I'm right. Now,
yeah,
if you're going to go there with the wrong mindset, you're already at a risk for
mm,
failure. So just learn to be able to understand the environment that you're going into. Look into the risks to say, oh, today I'll be seeing so and so who's doing this and that. What could be the risks attached to it? And
yeah.
ensure that you're looking in with an understanding of the hat that you are wearing at that moment. That way you are able to role play it well, and by the time you are done, you just laugh at yourself and be like, yep, I think I have a 5-star for acting on that role.
I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. And you're right. Sometimes we take things personally that should not be taken personally.
Mm-hmm.
Also knowing from the frame of reference that that person is coming from should help you actually deal with some of these challenges, and it doesn't affect you on a
Yeah.
personal level. I
Yeah.
love that. That is just incredible.
Yeah.
So, with a background in entrepreneurship and enterprise risk management,
Mm-hmm.
how do you balance the inherent risks of starting and growing a business with the need for innovation and being agile?
The thing about business, it's a very tricky thing. It's a very dirty game. You will think you've got it all. You will think you know it all.
Yeah.
For instance, let's talk about social media. There was a time when we would get so many clients from Facebook. And right now, you try to go onto Facebook, you're like, where are they? Are they hiding? What happened? So you
Yeah.
need to always educate yourself with what is happening out there. Right now, I'm learning that there's something called WhatsApp catalogs and all that. I'm thinking, whoa, okay, I need to get into that as well. People are making money out of WhatsApp. So it's all about trying to find out what is trending, trying to find out what other people are doing, trying to
Yes.
network, pick other people's brains, because if you isolate yourself thinking you know it all, that's already recipe for disaster. So it's
Yes.
important to just go put yourself out there, talk to people, see what they're doing. The very first time I heard about artificial intelligence, I
Yes.
drove home and I was so scared. I was telling my husband the world is coming to an end. Did you know that very soon cars will be driving themselves? Did you know this? Did you know that? But right now, I am so hooked to artificial intelligence because of what it can do for me. I've been able to save money from using artificial intelligence. The marketing style that I'm doing, I just put something in there, designs things for me, and I'm like, whoa. And it's actually unique to me. So it's all about being open to learning. If you close yourself off like I was that first time when I heard about artificial intelligence, where would I be right now? I would still be paying people thousands of dollars to do things that I'm now paying an app to do for me.
Oh, that's just crazy. That's absolutely incredible.
Mm.
So, my next question for you is, as both a public speaker and a facilitator, you engage with diverse audiences to inspire and share insights. What key messages or lessons do you aim to convey to your audience? And how do you tailor your approach to different groups?
I guess it's just a personality thing. You need to be able to read the room. You need to be able to read who you're talking to, understand, the type of language. I remember there was a time I shared a very inappropriate joke. I don't say any insults or anything, but someone was talking about something really, really sensitive to them. And I was like,
Right.
oh, I think it's in the air. And I saw that face drop and I realized that, oops, that's a boo-boo. So
Yes.
from there, I learned from that mistake to say, no matter, because I love to joke, I just say things that I feel are funny. But
Yes.
in that case, it was something really sensitive. And for me to say, oh, maybe it's in the air or in the water that you're drinking,
Oh,
whoa, I killed someone there. So I've come to learn to read the type of people that I'm talking to. If I'm
right.
walking into a Christian room, I know, hey, throw in a bit of an amen there so I can win the crowd. If I'm
Yes.
walking to a room full of mixed, diverse people, I should be able to read to say, okay, these are people who are wearing a lot of floral things. So let me talk about flowers. Let me talk about bees. Let me talk about pollination. So it's always important to know your audience right. That
Yeah.
way, no matter the topic that you have, you are able to win them because you understand who you're talking to. It may be
Yes.
one message, but the way that the message is said to different people will be the reaction will always be different. So if I'm to walk into people who don't smile, who don't laugh, and then I start giggling a lot, they'll think, oh my goodness, which drug is she on?
And it's so true. You just have to understand who you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Oh, boy. Now, can you tell us about a particular challenge that you faced in your career and how you overcame it? What lessons did you learn from that experience?
While we were starting business, I'll just share this one. My husband and I, we really put ourselves under a lot of pressure to do good, to be the best that we can be. And sometimes you'll see your age mates that are flourishing, that are managers, that are doing this, And I started comparing myself with them. I started thinking, oh my goodness, when I was busy getting married and having kids, these guys were going for their careers, and look at where they are right now, And now I'm thinking the very same people that I was looking at and I was admiring, that now then they're thinking, wow, Patience, you've got it all. You have the
Yeah.
husband, you have the kids, you have the business. How did you do it? And I was thinking, girl, you are in your 30s now. You're already a manager of this, and that. How are you doing it? So all I just want to tell someone is just believe in yourself. If you have a dream, believe in your dream. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to what other people think about you at that moment. For as long as you know where you are headed, don't stop. Do not, because had I now stopped to say, okay, let me go and look for a job because I'm seeing these people doing well in corporate, where would I have been? I got to a point where I tried to look for a job and they told me, Patience, you're not good enough. Guess what? Skin color. But then for them, have that challenge. They are still in Botswana. Everybody in the corporate world in Botswana has the same skin color. So had I tried to be in competition with them, where would I have been? So it's important to know that you make your own dream, you make your own desires, you create your own story. Hence why I love your brand, Hair Story. It shows that everybody is an individual. It's all about us trying to create who we genuinely are and
Yes,
find our own purpose in life.
I love that. Man, so as a leader in the aged care and disability sector, services sector,
Mhm.
how do you ensure that your organization remains responsive to the evolving needs of the community it serves?
Oh, now with this industry, this thing here called the ear is very important.
Mm,
It's so important to listen to the needs of the people we are caring for. You know, for me, I think what has brought success into our organization
mm,
was our very first client came with a long list of complaints. And that long list of complaints is what we actually turned things around for them. That child was biting themselves. That boy, he could not even go to the shops. All he could do all day was to be driven around in a car. But we are talking about someone 4 years later. He is now happy to go into the mall. He goes into the restaurant. So we do these regular checkups with the parents, with the families, to say how are the goals going. I remember last time the concern was during the birthday parties, he does not want to sit, and you guys get so exhausted from driving around. What's happening? Oh well, Patience, now we're able to drive to just enjoy the party with him while he's in the room as well. We've realized that this and this and this and this is possible. Unlike
yes.
other providers out there who think it's okay to leave a participant to get worse in order for them to make more money, we
Mm,
feel that it's important to revive them so the parents or the families get to enjoy working with you. They may continue cutting down the hours, but at the end of the day, it's for the life that we are preserving, to say we want
mm,
this person to have quality of life.
yeah, I love that. That's just incredible. So, what do you believe the role of diversity and inclusion plays in fostering innovation and driving business success, particularly in the facility services business or industry?
Driving inclusion is just ensuring that you have everybody there and everybody's comfortable, everybody enjoys working with you or working for you. When it
Mm,
comes to service provision, you don't want a situation where five staff members are calling in sick
yeah.
because they're frustrated to work with you. Build an environment where, for us with Power Care, it's just a flat system. You see, I'm called the business services manager. Nobody calls me the director. Nobody calls me the CEO. So that I'm able to come down to that level. They are able to also come up to my level. We are able to communicate with each other. We are able to ensure that people are having fun when they're working, in that environment. They enjoy doing what they're doing with you and for you. They're able to go out there as well to say, if they are to meet a client out there, they can actually say, you know what, you should actually talk to my boss. You can actually talk to my employer. They do this. They have all these fun activities. So it's all about ensuring that your message is across. It's not just said by you at the top there, but it is run across with the whole body. That
And
way, just do small little things for people. Appreciate your staff. Show them that you care for them. Show them that, you know what, yes, it is a working environment, but it can also be fun to work.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've got to make where people come and spend 8 hours of their day worthwhile for them to come and be there.
Yeah, imagine a scenario where you find your employee on the phone, and then the minute you walk in, they try to hide it. Nah, I usually tell them, no, you know what? It's okay. Continue. Maybe it's your kid. They need to talk to you. I have kids myself. And while I'm in a meeting, I'll just hear my son trying to call me desperately to tell me that, oh, I've made school captain.
Yeah,
So that those moments that we don't want to lose with our family, with our loved ones, all because of work.
yeah.
The connection is always important.
So, with your passion for learning and creative positive impacts in community, what are your future goals and aspirations, both personally and professionally?
To me, it's just spreading the word of love, spreading the word of business, spreading the word of ipelegeng, nurturing and showing people that, yeah, you can be able to do it too. It's not just for celebrities out there, but even a simple young Botswana girl can make it. Even a simple young whoever can do it out there. So for me, I just love talking business. It is so natural for me. The minute I sit down with someone, my first question is, okay, what do you do? It's not always fun for people, but it's like, what do you do? And out of the young people, I have a few who will actually send me random photos to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? I love how you keep talking about money. Some people call me the queen of soft life, not because I'm living any bougie life, but it's all to do. I just teach people to say soft life is not about having millions in the bank account, but it's all about knowing how to be able to reach those millions.
Yeah,
Find something to do, whether you are in varsity, whether you are still in school, whether you are working, you want to do it as a side hustle. Look towards your definition of soft life. Come up with
yeah,
something small that you can do, even if it's just customizing towels. Do it. Do
yes.
it.
Oh, I love it. Patience, I could talk to you all day. This has been a fascinating interview. I just feel so blessed to be connected with you, to be inspired by you, and to be able to share you with my community as well. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's been great. I enjoyed it. We should do this again.
And I'm excited that you're going to be one of our speakers at our International Women's Summit, 15th to 17th of March. What day did you say you're available? Is it 17 or 18?
17th or 18th, either
All right.
or.
Fantastic. So please come and join us at our International Women's Month event next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Chirac. If you want more information, please just send a message from this podcast. Thank you, Patience. Don't go away. I'll
Thank
be
you.
back again with more interesting guests for you tomorrow. Stay tuned. The Her Story Circle is bringing you women from all walks of life, talking about business and entrepreneurship, health and wellness, family and relationships, creativity, social justice, spirituality, and diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep